And one of the things about notes is this: they often have the word "don't" or "not," as in not working or "don't like." That's because, as the writer, you're expected to figure the thing out. Executives know what they don't like. Directors often know what they don't like. They know what they like when they see it. And that's very different. So, you know, inevitably notes are, we don't feel this works. Occasionally you might see stuff, what about this, what about this? But they're always random. If they knew what to do, they'd do it themselves. So notes always sort of come off as negative, but once you sort of understand the process, you've been paid if you're lucky enough to be writing, a good amount of money to figure that out for them. You know, so notes are always a little funky.
They're not giving you actual notes. These are conversations where they...
Depends. Occasionally, you know,
I mean, every now and then you get, but I know what you mean, Bob. I mean, most of the time it's all verbal, and you're supposed to be taking notes, which is a trick I had to teach myself at first, right? Because I have a very good memory. So I'd be in these conversations where it's notes, they're telling me what they do and don't like, and I'd be listening, you know, and generally trying to feign the, you know, wow, you know, good, you know, interesting, you know, whatever sort of positive reaction. But the fact that I wasn't writing it down pissed them off, right?
well, you're servicing the project.
Right.
They want to
so
know that.
I learned from that point, you know, from early on, just write down everything. Even if I'm just writing, I need to get groceries tomorrow, you know, I learned to just keep writing while they was talking and continue to bob my head, ooh, you know, like this. But to keep writing it, because in other words, so the notes are you making notes. Them talking verbally, you making notes. It's rare that they wrote them down because, see, if they wrote them down, that's right, it's a paper trail. And you can say later when the studio executive head, the head of the studio says, who the hell said that woman should die at the end of this? And I can go, this note from your senior vice president, right? So they don't want that.
Most of those conversations on a spec level or a script level, if you're just developing the script of the company, is very, I mean, you may do it on the phone, but you probably go in. It's very simple. Hey, we think this is, if you get the meeting, they are generally okay with the direction you're going. Because nowadays, and we'll get into this in a minute, contracts are what they call a one step. It used to be 2 or 3 steps, which meant a rewrite and a polish, you know, 2 or 3 steps, chances for you to get it right. Nowadays, studios demand and get it fairly often, one-step deals, which means you got one chance to get it right. So then they can just walk away
Well,
from the contract later.
sort of, right? I mean, because what's going to happen, that's exactly right, but what's going to happen is, so you've got that one step, right? And what they're going to want is a preliminary peek. You finished. You consider yourself done. That's your one step. No, this is a preliminary peek we're going to take. Doesn't count.
It's sort of like a free
Right.
rewrite.
It's like a free rewrite. Then we read it. We give you notes, and we'll do this 2 or 3 times before we consider it your final actual one step. So they end up doing 2 or 3 versions of that one step that you had to do.
The guild says we shouldn't do.
Right. And the guild makes it clear you shouldn't do that because it just feeds into, we don't have to pay you for the very steps. But the truth is, if you balk at doing that, you're not going to get employed by that producer again. You're not a team player.